Google's PageRank algorithm is essentially trying to ensure that those searches that bubble up to the top, as it were, are on more than simply just likes or the owner of that site essentially doing things to promote it. External links and verification and quality of content are all some of the things that we are told go into the PageRank algorithm. Of course, none of us are quite sure. That's a very closely guarded secret from Google.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed when organisations do this and use basic algorithms is that quite often what will happen is essentially the most popular content will keep surfacing to the top, and it may not necessarily be the most relevant.
But a question that the whole piece on AI raises is that those that create the algorithms, like Google, Facebook, Apple, are they creating algorithms that are self-fulfilling for their own needs, or are they bringing up content that's really valuable for us? They're big questions in society at the moment. So take for an example that Stephen Dubner, author of Freakonomics and host of Freakonomics Radio, was discussing just this week on their podcast and talking to researchers at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, who in 2014 were looking at Twitter on the day of major police protests in Ferguson, Missouri. Now, partway through following this social media feed and trying to keep a track of this, the researcher then went on to Facebook to see whether there were parallels there. With Facebook, the feeds were full of ice bucket challenges. But interestingly, Facebook had taken those videos and photos that were most liked. They were the ones that bubbled up to the top of Facebook's algorithm, whilst Twitter, where it's of user interest at that moment in time, was full of a very different and emotive story. So if it's going to be those things that are the most liked and the most shared, do we end up just recirculating the same content again and again? Are we missing those nuggets that are hidden away?
But it proves once again how important it is for us to get our heads around the data that the internet and the Internet of Things will be creating for us, and how we're going to sift that better so that we're able to make the right insights at the right time and keep a pace with the change in organisations.
But if we want the added value, if we want the innovation, then we need people that are going to be able to think wider than that. And those are the types of connections and insights that learning and knowledge professionals can help organisations to make, to take the data that they have and then think about the what next, or what if, or what else. It's a really exciting role for us. Think about the role that humans will play then in adding that added value, in putting together concepts and finding something new. It's a really exciting time to work in learning.